May I now request Mr. K.V. Sridhar, who is fondly known as Pops, the Chief Creative Officer, Sapient Nitro India. Pops comes with over 35 years of experience in building brands like Coke, Thumbs Up, Limca, Mazda, Minute Maid, Fiat, Gel Motors, Samsung, LG, among many other well-known names. Pop's role involves creating strategic advantage for Sapient Nitro's clients at the intersection of creativity and technology.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't have big data. I don't have facts. I don't have figures. What I have is stories. I'm going to tell more stories than the slides which I'm going to change. We never knew the difference between urban and rural. Absolutely no difference. And we had to go and then sell things like cement, asbestos, fertilizers, and chemicals. And we used to go and then do campaigns for that. We talk about micro-targeting. And national television had spoiled everything. In old days, the television actually started in rural. First, it started in villages, then it migrated to big cities. It started as a rural experiment. And then they used to have these low-power transmitters, which are put into small villages where community used to come and then watch the television. So that is how still we joke about Krishi Darshan, correct? And then that's how television has started. So to me, these two always went together. If you take away the filters of technology between urban, rural, income between urban and rural, and education, urban and rural, finally apart from all these disparities, there is one thing which is common, which is far greater than anything else, which is humanity. We don't see people as people. I believe everything starts with people and ends with people. And a lot of brands, marketers, when they do things, they really put people in those silos and then try to describe them as little robots. Here is my customer, SSC, C, D, with an income of 20,000 per annum, and then this is what he does, this is what he does not do. But I think most of the time, we really underestimate the intelligence of even those consumers because we have absolutely no insights. What we have is only data points. And then people first react as human beings. And a lot of times when brands do not find a purpose to serve in people's life, they will not be welcomed. And that is one of the biggest things. And I'm going back, having worked for 36 years, now going back to the basics of what really makes people connect. You connect with fellow human beings based on values, and then you welcome somebody if they play a role in your life. If they don't play a role in your life, they have absolutely no place. And then you go, and then you just give little entertainment to them, which is irrelevant to what you stand for, or what they are seeking, and then make them throw some rings at soaps, and then you come back saying that I have done an activity. So somewhere, what is missing in our approach to really, really reach out to people is not seeing them as people. Here is an example which I'll tell you the backstory of that. Just see this.
शुरू से ही आशा की जिंदगी सिर्फ इसीलिए कड़वी थी क्योंकि वो एक लड़की थी। उसकी जीत में भी उसे हार ही मिली।
पापा, मैं और पढ़ना चाहती हूँ।
तेरी पढ़ाई पे खर्चा करूंगा तो शादी पे केक लाऊंगा। कद्दू।
सपने देखने चाहे तो दुत्कार मिली।
भाई साहब, हम बनाते हैं 1000 गज की कोठी। आप चाहे नीचे रह लियो, फिर चाहे ऊपर रह लियो।
मैं कुछ बोलूं?
तुम विचार नहीं, अचार दो।
कदम बढ़ाती तो लगाम कसती जाती।
देखो बेटा, एक्शन तो हम ले लेंगे, लेकिन बदनामी आप ही की होगी।
सर।
अपनों की भेष में बेगानी मिले।
कचौरिया जी, हमें नहीं पता किस मेहनत का फल मिला है। हाँ?
तालियों की आड़ में ताने मिले। और आज आशा 1 करोड़ रुपए जीत गई है। बधाई हो आपको।
धन्यवाद सर।
क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
मुबारक हो, लड़की हुई है।
क्या बात, समझ गया। लड़का लड़की का भेदभाव मिट जाता है। सिर्फ ज्ञान ही आपको आपका हक दिलाता है।
कैडबरी डेयरी मिल्क प्रेजेंट्स कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, पावर्ड बाय आइडिया, चलता रहा है सिर्फ सोनी पर।
This story was inspired because the year before, when we were, this was done by our company that time, my team. The year before, there was this woman who came from a small village some 30 kilometers away from Pandharpur. And she answered a question on where the global warming summit has happened. And then she answered that question by picking the right one, saying that it happened in Copenhagen. A person who could barely speak in Hindi, she only speaks in Marathi. A person who could barely speak in Hindi. And even Mr. Bachchan got so intrigued, and then he asked her a question that, Madam, how did you know? And he said, एक दिन देर सी आती है, पर पेपर तो आती है village में. But that is what we underestimate. But there are people who are smarter. Going to schools is not education. Learning things, wanting to know, and then having the common sense is what makes them different. They imbibe all the knowledge, they have all the knowledge, and then we keep on underestimating them, saying that, they're housewives, they don't know anything, they will be under parda, and they have absolutely no knowledge of what is happening around the world. Newspaper used to be the window to the world, to the people who were literates. The people who were not, every village had one person, literate person, who actually sits at every gram panchayat that, under the tree and reads, and then 10 people who sit around him and to listen to the news. News might be one day old, but still they get to know what is happening in the world. So we always underestimate, the kind of rural audiences which we have, because we don't treat them as human beings. We don't try to understand them as human beings. We just silo them. Imagine, we talk about numbers. 70% of people live in rural areas, and then 30% are under the poverty line. But there are 70% who is above the poverty line. They have money to buy a cell phone. It's not that they don't have the money to buy a cell phone. They have the money, provided you show them the value for that. If you show that you can make a difference to that, you tell them that, IDEA, she mentioned, IDEA was the first company which actually did in 2002, went and then gave that to farmers and then gave them the entire stock prices, the commodity prices on that. So there are a lot of things, if you play a role in their life, they embrace you. If you don't, they will not. So that's the most important lesson.
ലോകം കൊണ്ടിരുന്ന് ഞാനൊന്ന് കാണാറുണ്ട്. തേങ്ങ എൻ്റെ തലയിൽ വീണപ്പോഴല്ലേ എനിക്ക് ആ ആശയം ഉദിച്ചത്. സാമ്പത്തിക ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുകൾ കൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് പഠിക്കാൻ സാധിച്ചില്ല. എങ്കിലും ഞാൻ വിജയത്തിൻ്റെ ചവിട്ടുപടികൾ കയറി. നാട്ടുകാരിപ്പോൾ എന്നെ സ്പൈഡർമാൻ എന്നാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. മൈ ടെക്നോളജി.
And as I said, a couple of innovations, which I'll give you an example of how it find a purpose and then made the entire brand relevant to them. One case study which I saw was last year from Wheel. Wheel is all about husband and wife. Though, husband does all the, wife does all the dirty things of laundry, but still, it's a relationship between wife and husband. So what they did was they really figured out, in rural audience, a lot of people from Bihar, they migrate to bigger cities like Mumbai and Delhi, and then work here as laborers, and then and send the money back home. And then these people, these women who are there, they have to manage within the money, and then they have no other income, and then they can't ask anyone any help. So they have to live, and they have a cell phone which has been given to them, but they can't call because there is no money to call. That's the reason why the missed call is such a huge burden in people's life. So what these guys have done is, if you give a missed call to your whatever number they have given, they have actually connected the wives to their husbands who are living in Mumbai and other cities, and then gave them unlimited talk. So that really made a human purpose of wife and husband freely talking at least once a week or twice a week. So that made a huge impact on people. Of course, brand was there. The little Salman Khan IVR will come and then he will talk something about the brand. All that was there, but still they found a purpose and then made it innovative. There was another brand which was completely selfless in Manila, Philippines. What they did is, the future phones, which are old and used, have absolutely no value. People just throw e-waste. What they have done is they have collected all those phones, the feature phones, and then they took the SIM card, and then in the SIM card, they have actually put the entire 6 subjects textbooks of school children. They took all the subjects, put that into that SIM card, and then gave that phone to those children. So the result, they don't have to buy their books. They don't have to carry books. It made a huge difference to the children. So if you find the purpose, if you think and then be innovative, and then people will embrace you.